God created the human body as a highly tuned physical engine of immense power, but it needs fuel to keep running. This fuel is known as food. God created in us an appetite for food known as hunger to ensure that the body gets fueled. Food satisfies our appetites and provides us energy as part of nature's balance to keep life moving. So why would someone choose to go hungry in modern times? We are conditioned to eat 3 times a day. We are constantly reminded that a hearty breakfast is the foundation of the day. Eat so that you may be strong. We were taught in school to eat 3 full meals a day and exercise to be strong. So why skip meals? The world calls not eating dieting, and often does it to lose weight or for health reasons. But some abstain from eating for spiritual reasons. This is referred to in the Bible as fasting. A fast is typically undertaken for a defined period to achieve a spiritual goal. Consider the following example from the Old Testament. Once a year, Jewish faithful were required to fast. Leviticus chapter 16, verse 29 states, "And this shall be a statute forever for you. In the 7th month on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger that sojourned among you." The Yom Kippur fast, observed on the Day of Atonement, is known as the Yom Kippur fast. The phrase means Day of Atonement. God required his people to fast once a year on the Day of Atonement. Everyone fasted to identify with the high priest who sacrificed a lamb for the forgiveness of their sins. Jesus told his disciples, "When you fast," as mentioned in Matthew chapter 6, verse 16 to 18, "When you fast, do not look somber like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to your Father, who is unseen, and your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." When you give up foods, both pleasurable and necessary, you catch God's attention. Even back then, Jesus warned us not to flaunt our fasting. Jesus cautioned his disciples not to fast for public acclaim. The fact that he said, "whenever you fast," indicates that he considers fasting a legitimate spiritual discipline. Fasting is temporarily abstaining from a bodily desire, usually food, in favor of a spiritual need. Instead of eating, you dedicate yourself to secret prayer, seeking God's intervention in the realm. However, if your goal in avoiding food is so that others praise how spiritual you appear, then their approval will be your reward. You can fast in private and tell no one. Other times, you might participate in a public fast, such as with your church or another individual, to address a problem. Ezra fasted with 4,000 people, and Esther asked all Jewish believers to fast for divine intervention. Every year in May, Christians are invited to participate in the National Day of Prayer and Fasting. Fasting is not the same as dieting, nor is it about eliminating food for health reasons. There are many types of fasts for spiritual reasons, and there are many reasons to fast and pair the experience with prayer. Fasting is a biblical discipline that can help anyone improve their spiritual fitness and become a prayer warrior for God. Some believe that Christians don't require discipline. However, we build our strength through spiritual exercises. We must remember that we are soldiers of Christ. A good soldier is proficient in a variety of disciplines. Fasting is just one of the many disciplines of a Christian. Jesus told his disciples that when you pray for others, whether for your church or for people's salvation, Satan will oppose you. Fasting, like climbing a mountain, is demanding both spiritually and physically. Embark on this adventure with a clear understanding of what you are doing and with the knowledge that the path ahead may be challenging, but the rewards will be well worth it. Start small. If this is your first fast, God will honor your first step of faith, which may seem small to others, but will be a great step for you. God also cares about your heart's response during fasting. Your attitude is a very serious part of your fast. Just as when a man proposes to a woman, it is not the length of his proposal that gets a yes, but the heart behind it. So when you begin to fast, don't worry about how long your fast should last. Just make sure your relationship with God is in good order. God knows everything. He understands and values the sincerity of your prayers more than their length. So if you have never fasted before, start with a fast from skipping one meal. In the Old Testament, Jews were required to fast for one day on Yom Kippur each year. A day began at sunset and ended at sunset the next day according to the Jewish calendar. God taught the Jews to count their days, so the evening and the morning were the first day, as stated in Genesis chapter 1, verse 5. Plan to start your fast when the sun sets or maybe just before sunset. This means you will skip the normal evening meal, then skip breakfast and lunch the next day. After the sun sets, most Jews broke their fast by eating a normal meal. Even though private prayer and fasting are the foundation of all intercession, if you have never walked this path before, you might want to start your fasting journey with another person. If you are fasting for a specific answer to prayer, invite someone to pray and fast with you. There is strength in numbers. Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Again, truly I tell you that if two of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven, as mentioned in Matthew chapter 18, verse 18 to 19. These verses are not just about prayer. They are also about the commitment we make in agreement with another person. Think of it this way. When you plan a vacation with another person, it's more memorable if you plan, dream, and share experiences together. When you share your vacation with another person, you probably enjoy it more. The same is true for fasting. When you share the experience of fasting and praying together, your prayers are likely to be more focused. Fasting with another person has additional benefits. You have someone to discuss your doubts, questions, and fears. If fasting intimidates you, the strength of another person can help you overcome it. You can always call each other for advice and to check how it's going. This phone call might give you the motivation you need to keep going. Don't forget the celebration. When you climb a mountain alone, you're doing it to prove something to yourself, and the victory is solely yours. But when you climb with others, you have many people to celebrate with. When you reach the top, you celebrate, embrace, and then return to tell everyone about your victory. When you finish the fast, you can rejoice together. Simply being together makes the taste of victory even sweeter. Another advantage of fasting with a friend is that it establishes accountability. You'll be less tempted to eat a snack or break your fast if you know a friend is aware of your fasting. Perhaps you've already run or walked for health with a friend. If so, you understand how having a partner can help you stay committed when things get tough. If you are strong, you might not need someone to help with accountability. But if you're not, teaming up with someone in the same boat can be beneficial. When you're preparing to fast, look deep within your heart to discover why you're fasting. There are countless reasons for fasting. When young David faced Goliath, no other Israeli soldier wanted to confront the giant. They not only refused to fight Goliath, but each gave David a different reason to avoid the battle. However, David was undeterred. He had a compelling reason to fight that particular giant. It's not just about praying and fasting. We fast for a reason. Are you willing to fast and give up your pleasures? Make a list of your causes. Write them down on paper so you can see them with your own eyes. When you keep a cause only in your mind, it can become blurry or vague. You might have a general idea of why you should fast now, but take time to write down your reasons. This will sharpen your focus. Don't enter your fast casually or with a careless attitude. Plan to succeed. If you don't, you're likely to fail. Don't participate in a fast just to see how far you can go. Make a firm commitment to fast for a day regardless of the circumstances. The absolute fast is a fast where you eliminate all food and water. Paul underwent this type of fast for 3 days after seeing the Lord Jesus on the road to Damascus and being struck with blindness. And he was 3 days without sight and neither ate nor drank. For your first fast, do not undertake the absolute fast. This fast is intended for those who are deeply distressed or are fasting to resolve a severe problem, such as deliverance from an addiction or protection against a spiritual adversary. The normal fast is a fast where you avoid all solid food and drink only liquids. The fast is most often used in the Bible to refer to people who ate no solid food. For 40 days, Jesus ate nothing. And at the end of them, he was hungry. There is no mention of Jesus drinking liquids. When people fast, what do they drink? Many cut out pleasurable drinks like soda and various types of fruit juices. This corresponds to the Old Testament description of them afflicting themselves and fasting according to Isaiah chapter 58, verse 3. The partial fast is a fast where you eliminate certain liquids or solids, but not all. This is also known as the Daniel fast because he would not eat from the king's table, but insisted, "Please test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink." The fast did not harm Daniel or his friends. At another time, Daniel reflected the spirit of the partial fast in Daniel chapter 10, verse 3. "I ate no choice food, no meat or wine touched my lips, and I used no lotions until the 3 weeks were over." This partial fast specifies what Daniel avoided. Number 1, pleasant foods, similar to our donuts or cakes. Number 2, meat. And number 3, wine, which is anything that is pleasurable or brings joy. The rotation fast is rarely used in Christian circles. as it is primarily used for medical purposes, mainly to determine a person's reaction or allergy to specific food groups to cleanse their system. The patient usually undertakes a normal or absolute fast for 1 day. Then for 6 days, only one new food group is introduced and consumed each day, rotating among the food groups. This helps to determine which food is causing a person's physical problem through elimination and exclusion. When preparing to fast, several factors need to be considered. Consider your specific situation before deciding on the best approach for you. Here are some ideas. As mentioned earlier, if this is your first fast, I recommend starting with the 1-day Yom Kippur fast. If you wish to fast for a longer period of time to address a serious or ongoing issue, perhaps fasting 1 day a week for 3 weeks might be preferable to starting with a 3-day fast. Remember, if this is your first fast, you are embarking on an unfamiliar journey. You should proceed with caution as you are learning new skills and attitudes for both your body and soul. Your first fast should be a normal fast where you eat nothing and only consume liquids for 1 day. This practice will help train your body to not react negatively if you later eliminate both food and liquid. You should try to match the reason for your fast to the type of fast. Choose a normal fast for a routine request. Choose a fast with more stringent requirements for a more serious problem. You should feel at peace with both the duration and the type of fast. Obviously, when deciding what you will eliminate when praying, you should not doubt yourself, nor should you feel guilty for doing something wrong. Choose a type of fast that allows you to be comfortable with your decision. You should think about your weekly schedule. Which days of the week are not suitable for fasting? What special event is coming up when fasting is not advisable? Never start a fast with a long fast, as you have no idea what to expect from your body or how you will react emotionally. A 1-day fast is very manageable. Whatever fast you choose as your first, keep in mind that it is a leap of faith. God sees your heart and will reward you accordingly. May God grant us the wisdom to understand the spiritual purpose and benefits of fasting, reminding us that it is not the abstention from food alone that brings us closer to Him, but the sincerity of our heart and the pursuit of a deeper connection through prayer. May we fast not for visibility to the eyes of others, but for visibility to the heart of God, who sees in secret and rewards openly. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread the word of God. Thank you, and may God bless you.